Hello, hello. How are you? It's Sunday. I got my wisdom teeth pulled yesterday, so my left side's pretty swollen, but I got a nice haircut and I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to cast some battles. We have battles here from Spiffy and from Serjo. Starting with Spiffy, the long anticipated campaign battle that he's been asking me to cast for a long time. I had promised I would get to it, and here it is. Now, a little disclaimer before I start. It does give a warning sign that the playback was from an older version of the game, so I'm hoping it's going to be consistent with the results. I also have those warnings for Sergio's games that I plan on casting later, but hopefully all will be good. Alright, so what do we have here? Chilfroy. I'm guessing Spiffy's playing Bretonnia because he's a Bretonian guy. He's going with this Lord and 3 halberds, 2 archers against the Barrel Legion. Pretty nice build from Kemmler. Alright, in terms of deployment. Yeah, so I don't normally cast campaign battles, but I've been told that this one was a bit different. And cool, so let's check it out. What's over here? We got dire wolves in the woods. And Hexerace on the flank. Alright. So it looks like there's a bit of repositioning going on here. I'm going to fast forward early on until the action gets underway. Okay, the dire wolves have revealed themselves. So maybe he's playing vampire counts. I don't know. We're going to watch the battle. Maybe Spiffy is vampire counts because these peasant bowmen are getting balled up and wrecked by dire wolves. Some halberds reacting to that along with the Lord. Alright. A little repositioning here. The Lord is very vehemently trying to kill all of those dire wolves. Maybe he can do it, as long as he doesn't get full surrounded, which seems to be the case right now. Fast forward a bit more. Alright, we've got... what is this? Frontline engagement is underway. Skelly warriors, spears across the front line, pushing up against halberds. And spears? The vamp should be okay. Oh, alright, we got some balling up here in the front. If there was a vortex spell, that'd be nice, but there isn't. It's campaign, and I don't think he has a mage yet, so there you go. So the front line is just getting worked down by archer fire, but these halberds and spears are not going to hold forever, so there's a reserve in here that's going to be sent in. And yeah, holding across the front line. There's 2 more reserve units here, I guess. And then 1 in the back, right on the archer line. So just trying to get them to hold as long as possible, I guess. You do have the 40 melee defense of the halberds, which is coming in handy against the skellies, which have pretty low melee attacks. So they're probably close to hitting at base hit chance. Well, 18 to 40, yeah, they're going to have trouble landing hits against spears. There's 1 unit of foot squires as well, which can probably kill everything on the vampire roster, except for perhaps the Cairn race. Seems like a pretty close fight though, but the Hexa race are going to be a big issue for Bretonnia. This is the key unit that Bretonnia has to worry about. Right now they got into the archer line, and they're about to drop a rear charge. No, they changed their mind. They're going into the halberds, which terror outs the halberds. The halberds were on pretty low leadership when they arrived, and of course a unit like the Hexa race with a rear charge and terror can immediately break any unit that's, well, almost, that's not immune to psychology. As long as its leadership is wavering a little bit. So Lord getting in here, trying to break the Skelly Spearmen, I think. This Skelly Spearmen are off to 2 chevrons, but Kemmler's in here supporting their leadership. Meanwhile, the Hexa race are just feasting on Bretonian peasants. If these 2 could be spread out, then maybe the Hexa race would have to pick which unit that they're going to attack, and then the other 2 units could perhaps shoot at the Hexa race. Granted, the Hexa race are a little bit squishy, and they are down to less than half HP just from token damage here and there. They're going to get into some spears here. Archers now shooting at the Hex race, which is, I agree, it's the priority target, but Bretonia, how much longer can they last? It's time for the Foot Squires to go to work here with their heavy armor. They could probably win this frontline fight against all of this skelly chaff, I would hope. And still really even fight though. Halberds and spears going after these skellies. Gonna get a full surround or rear charge. Just in the nick of time before this unit breaks off. Hexarrays are still free. Hey Serjo, I'm gonna cast your battles right after this game from Spiffy. And then I have 2 more from Spiffy that I'll do after that. So yeah, most of the stuff seems to be disintegrating. I think aside from the Hexarrays, the battle is probably going in favor of Bretonia. And the Lord is in on Kemler. Kemler is probably going to drop here. Goodbye, old man. Nice try. So congrats to Spiffy on that win. That should seal the deal. Artois. I didn't even know you could play this faction. Do you think he is Barrow Legion? I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't play that much campaign. But I cast the battle, Spiffy, so there you go. And I cast it first this time instead of waiting until the end. Alright, so 2 games from Serjo. Then I got 2 more here from Spiffy. So the first one is going up against Greenskins. We've got 2 trolls, 2 goblin wolf chariots, deep riders, or deep creepers, whatever. Some heavy orc calves, some spheres, 2 gobbo big bosses, and Mr. Black Orc himself. Then we've got Alariel and Flying Death with the double eagle, very strong loadout. Eagles are underused, underrated. They're very good. They just get outshone a little bit by the phoenixes and in some cases the star dragons and other high tier dragons because of Alariel, but do not sleep on eagles. They are very fast, very effective, and they can goon out individual entities, but they also can do a little bit of splash damage and disrupt archer lines and stuff with their high speed. They can also harass cavalry. So here comes the cavalry pushing in. Little show and go. Goblin wolf chariots are going to fall back. What do we have on Alariel in terms of her kit? Star of Avalorn, Shield of Thorns, Earthblood. Very nice. No Foz protection though. I think she has access to Foz. I think Foz is an excellent skill. You don't need... Banishment might be okay against Greenskins. They tend to bring a lot of infantry, but lately it's been a lot of chaff infantry and stone trolls. These are regular trolls though, with chevrons, so we'll see how they hold up. Yeah, Grimgor in the middle. Grimgor, I still think he's kind of a mean one. People think he's viable now. I don't know. Against static factions with artillery, maybe. Otherwise, I still think he's kind of a mean. Illyrian Reaver archers getting in here and beating off the deaf creepers in melee. Then we got 3, the hero squad, basically, the double eagle and Alariel. That punch is hard. That's really hard for cavalry, even anti-large units to take down. Like the big ones are anti-large AP, but because of, if you keep all 3 of them clustered together, they can't. It's like they're fighting back to back, and not all of the models will get the full surround. If that was fighting one of those single entities, then it would probably come out on top, but against 3 it might still lose. Over here the spearmen are just holding against spears. These are good matchups for Serjo. Fireborn getting interrupted by the Gobble Prince when it went to rear charge these boys over here. The right flank looking okay, kind of a wash. Silver Helms are getting broken by the big ends, but the spears are holding on. But you have to think the longer that the High Elves can sort of weather the storm, the better the chances of success get, because Greenskins do not have the best leadership in the world, and if you can sort of survive that initial onslaught, then they're going to start having some leadership issues, where you bring these big flying terror monsters over here, and you see Biggins just ran away, Trolls just ran away. Without the leadership support, the terror of the Flamespire is just going to cause them to not fight. And had they fought here, I don't know if they would have won. But they could have done enough damage to at least break the Illyrian Reavers probably, and then the rest, well, who knows. But I do like how Serjo is using his Illyrian Reavers in melee. I think they are a decent melee unit as far as skirmish cav go. Gobble Spearman versus regular Spearman. I wonder how they're doing. 34 kills from the Gobble Spearman versus 16 from the High Elf Spearman. These guys with the chevrons are 27-34. These guys are 21-39. So actually stats are comparable. So the Gobbles are trading, I would think, effectively. The only difference is the leadership and the armor. I don't know how much it would cost for rank 9 Chevron Gobbles with spears. I think the base unit of spears is about 300 gold. I think High Elf spears are about 500, so 9 chevrons on Gobble spears, would that come out to 500? I don't know. Alright, so Gobble Wolf Chariots are not able to sort of escape from the High Elves. I wonder why you would bring Gobble Chariots in this matchup against High Elves. I mean, maybe they can shoot at the large, but they don't have AP. And High Elves tend to bring a lot of spears. And spears do well against chariots, so maybe he didn't get the memo. I don't know. I mean, it would have been great if he was expecting a bunch of rangers, but I don't know many High Elf players who would try and out-melee a greenskin army with rangers. We'll see. The Fireborn get in a charge here against the Biggins, but I think this is a number game at this point. They're down to... they fought till the very last model. But rear charge here should break the Biggins, and then it'll be a turnaround and kill the leadership fight, I think. Over here, the High Elf center finally gave way, but there is regroup units, Silverhound, Spears, Illyrian Reaver, Archers, other things that should be okay. But this is dangerous over here for the High Elves. They're still a pretty healthy unit of trolls. They're regenning. Gobble Big Boss over here. The issue is these guys are out in no man's land. I mean, these guys need to be together. If you got 2 Gobble Big Bosses plus Grimgore plus the trolls for the mass and the leadership on the trolls from the lords, then maybe that's a fight. But isolated, I think that they can just give it to Grimgore and the Gobble. They're gonna focus down the Gobble first, I guess, get that damage off the table. Yep, and once he's gone, then it's a 3v1 on Grimgore. So Greenskins is pulling over there, but he's gonna be a little late to the party, I think. Grimgore, if he breaks, it's over. Some charges coming in here. Terror routing. Oof. Flamespire's gone. But is the Flamespire going to get the proc or a heal from Illyrio? Those are always 2 big questions, right? It is at his healing cap. But there goes Grimgore. And there goes the chances of success. I think Illyrio's still OP. I think she's wildly OP, in fact. She's too good at everything. She's a decent melee combatant, even though she's supposed to be this like support type of caster. And she's also really good at healing, in case you didn't know. Alright. Now we've got another one here. Serjo playing Avalorn against Norska. So Greenskin and Norska games, both with Avalorn. I wonder why you pick Avalorn if this is a multiplayer battle. I mean, I don't think any of these units are Avalorn units, and I feel like he's kind of showing his hand by picking Avalorn, because then they probably expect Illyrio. I mean, why not just pick regular High Elf and then grab Illyrio? But if you really like the green banners, who am I to say otherwise? Marauder Horsemen over here, and Beasts of Tashnar. Then we've got, what are these? Norscan Ice Wolves, and Chariots. And clearly this is a skilled opponent. You can tell because he's going wide, he's using space, his stuff isn't all clustered. And he's got Skirm Calves as his main missile unit. And usually the most competitive way to play for a lot of rush factions, or just in general in this game, for high mobility factions, is to have all of your shooting coming from mobile sources. So if you're ever in trouble, it's really easy to just move them away. Static archers tend to struggle a little bit more in this game, I find, unless you're Dwarf maybe. But Yeah, Abusive Tashnar. Sorry, Ice Wolves are dropping over here. Again, this is the leadership issue, right? You got terror from the Flamespire. You notice as soon as the Flamespire arrived, these guys broke immediately. So if you are going to bring low leadership type of things, you always have to think about, okay, what's my answer if there's something terrifying nearby? Do I have leadership support? Nice pendulum going down here from Norska, ripping up 2 units of spears and kind of taking away the safe spot for these Illyrian Reaver archers. And now all of a sudden they're getting hounded by the Beast of Tashnar and the Mazu Savagery, who looks like they got caught up on the spearmen, but with rear charge and other things, they're going to break. This is really well played by the Norscan player here. Except this flank, because of the monster mash, they got kind of messed up. But yeah, spearmen coming into contact with the Marauders. Marauders should be trading favorably there, although the formations are kind of weird. There's not very many Marauders in combat right now. Illyrian Reavers are being chased by the Ice Wolves. Don't forget the Ice Wolves has a slow effect, so he should be dropping the speed of the Illyrian Reaver archers if it's able to make contact, which is a big if. We got a speed of, what is this, 95 versus a speed of 90. So the chariot should actually, it's wild that this chariot's faster than the Illyrian Reaver archers, but apparently it should be able to make contact with them. Yeah, wow. I can't believe it's faster. But yeah, Marauders are going to break. Rear charges here from Ilaria. I think this is a done deal. There's really not much left. So maybe the High Elf's getting spread a little bit too thin here. But really, I mean, your victory condition is Ilariel and these two birds. And as long as those are alive and able to cycle charge, then there's, I think it's very little way that High Elves can ever lose these battles, which is, again, I think, partly why Ilariel's OP. But, like, if you're Norska, I mean, the Norska struggles with, I think, flying units in general. They can't really contest the air. Their anti-air options in terms of shooting are kind of limited. So if you are expecting an air build as Norska, you want to think carefully. Maybe you want to go with a few more Famir to just anchor your front line. You have to somehow force the High Elves to fight you on the ground. With the triple Illyrian Reavers and the Cav, I mean, there's really nothing that Norska can hit on the ground other than spears. Serjo is offering no value to VM Tank to kill on the ground. He's put 2,000 out of a 12,000 gold army onto spears. The rest is all mobile and very hard for Norska to catch and keep pinned down. So Serjo, I mean, this is a very competitive army. I think this, to me, this is one of the challenges with the current state of the game, because it's clear, like, you're winning with the monsters, which maybe it's not a problem. I don't know. I keep going back and forth with this. But you got mobile shooting, archers and spears. I don't know. I do something similar when I play Dark Elf. I mean, most of the time, I'll bring like Dread Spears as like my core unit, and I use the Dark Riders Repeater crossbows as my secondary for missile. Like if I want to run a competitive game, you know, and Dark Shards usually get left at home unless the other team is really slow. It's just the way to play and win in Warhammer right now, I think. But you know, it'd be nice to see some, you know, Harganeth Executioners or some Swordmasters of Hoeth or something like that get some play, and they're slow and they don't perform at the level that these other things perform at. And there's also the challenge of late game. There's no victory conditions, so it's not like an objective marker spawns on the map or whatever. So draw kiting late game is a big challenge for a lot of factions to deal with, and many players just play for the draw. So yeah, anyway, that's not what we saw last game though. I don't want to poo-poo on Sergio's game. He played a really good game. He did everything right, and he came out with the W, so congrats to Sergio. Alright, so what do we have here? We got Mounted Yeoman Archers on the flanks, Centaurs over here, and Grail Knights. So this game is from Spiffy. We've switched off Serjo, we're back to Spiffy. Alberic's up in the air, and no heals on Alberic. This is something I see Spiffy do sometimes. I'll just say hi. Chat, I don't think I said hi yet. Alright, so Centaur is getting some shots at the Yeoman Archers. Looks like the Grail Knights got tied up in spears. They'll probably still beat the spears, but probably not where they want to be. This is the most passive Beastman player I've ever seen. Not sure what they're doing. Okay, there they go. Now they take the frontline engagement. But a little show and go from Spiffy. He kind of went in and then went back and then... Okay, no, he's going to take it. Wow, what is happening over here? This guy's just standing still. I don't get it. Alright, the Ungor Spears are dead. Chaos Spawn are unbreakable and fighting a terror-causing unit. And Centaurs are being chased off by Grail Knights. Wow, this is an interesting game so far. So all of this should be able to steamroll the Bretonnian frontline. I mean, that's not even a fight. So can the cavalry hold their own? Rear charge is coming in here. Full surround on the Gorbel and whatever else that was, the Chaos Spawn. They are dead. Alberic's in trouble though, and this pocket, I mean, somehow he's got to kill the Giant, right? The Giant's probably the only big threat on for Bretonnia right now. Yeah. Alright, Alberic's going to go in there and try his luck on the Giant. Looks like he was able to get in a few cheeky hits without the Giant retaliating. Same thing here. He's careful to attack the rear of the Giant and just kind of do some chip damage. This Giant's got to turn around and whack Alberic every time he lands. But yeah, Alberic plus Green Knight could probably take the Giant. One-on-one I wouldn't want to do it, but together perhaps. There's Kazrak there as well though. He's not a slouch in melee. But Terror is, like, Kazrak's almost full HP and he almost broke there just because of Terror. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Well, no, he's holding. Full surround. Some unbreakable stuff going on for the Beastman. I'm not sure what triggered that, but Alberic's going to break. And full surround on Kazrak. And she done. These Grail Knights just smashed everything though. I think the Beastmen had trouble dealing with the mobility of the Grail Knights. And this is very similar to what we saw from Serjo, right? You see like a heavy hitting mobile core. All the damage is coming from your mobility and your heroes. Like token skirmish cavalry, which the other team was going to have a really hard time catching. And then chaff, like the cheapest infantry you can possibly get. They're more for appearance than for anything else. So yeah. And then we've got, okay, Grail Knights. Number 2. Alright, this is more of a balanced build. We're seeing a little bit of Foot Squire mixed in. No regular archers. In fact, no archers at all. We're going up against the Dark Elves, which is interesting. Dark Elves tend to be on the weaker side, let's say, with their shooting. I mean, they have AP shooting, which is good. But they're no Wood Elves. They're no High Elves. They're no Vampire Coast. Let's not kid ourselves. Or Empire. So Marauder Horseman in the back. He's got Chaos and Bretonnia allies here. Maybe Slanesh. Maybe they promise something, some comfort time with the lady. I don't know. Maybe the lady has more to her going on than we know about. Chaos Warriors on the side. Chaos Marauders across the front line. And yeah. So what is happening here? We got Hydra. Spears. Blades of Blood Queen. And Dread Spears. Okay. Marathi on foot is an interesting choice. Malekith up in the air. Malekith is a risky pick with no support if you're going up against Bretonnia, because there's a good chance they could have Hippogriffs or Pegasus Knights, which could end Malekith's day really quickly, even if he's on top of Dark Shards. They can kill him before the Dark Shards have a chance to do enough damage. Colo Knight's getting shot in the side here. Looks like they haven't really recognized that yet. And they've lost almost 20% of their HP right off the bat just from skirmish archer fire with 3 units. It's a lot of damage. Cole and Dread Knights are rotating over here. Colo Knights are going to screen them out. Sorry, I was just replying to a friend on Steam there. Blackguard of Nagarond are able to, I guess, take a charge from the Human. Human did absolutely nothing. Blackguard had too much armor for them. These Human get intercepted, and that's it. Malekith's up in the air here. He's going to drop Gaze of Malice on the Chaos Warriors. Gaze of Malice does best against lightly armored stuff, so not the most effective against Chaos Warriors, but it will delay them from getting into combat just a little bit. And the Blades of Bloodgreen are going to go after Chaos Warriors, and Sartorial is going to interrupt them, so I think that's good for Sartorial because he's taking away their charge bonus. Now they're going to turn around and face Sartorial, probably get rear charged themselves from the Chaos Warriors. So Sartorial being used nicely as a chariot there. Kolo Knights are able to chew up those mounted Yeomen. What happened to the Skirmishers? Skirmishers are over here on the flank, and they are going to take out these Kolo Knights with one more rear charge because of the crappy leadership. Oh no, no, maybe not. They're losing, but they're holding tight. We'll see. So spears are just holding the line here. I'm not sure what the dark shards are shooting at. I think just crap. Let's go check out the monster fight over here. We've got the Chaos Giant is wavering. He's fighting a Blackguard, definitely not where he wants to be. And the War Hydra plus Blackguard plus Malekith should be able to make short work of him. Maybe there was a breath attack used on the Giant too, I'm not sure. Starting to look grim for Chaos. I think there were some early fights that went well for them. Oh yeah, the Chaos Warriors, maybe they're just getting into the Blades of Bloodgreen now, but they were, yeah, a bit late to arrive. Blackguard holding the line here. Marathi's over here. Full health. Sartorial is getting worked on. So basically this Chaos army is really, it's fighting it's fighting an army and a half really, because it's being shot from here, fighting Malekith, Marathi's here. Whereas this side is going very well for Bretonnia because it's getting overloaded from the full Bretonian army plus the skirmishers from Chaos. So it's a tale of two flanks. This flank going horribly now for the Chaos. This flank going very well for Bretonnia. But I have to think the advantage is wildly in favor of the Dark Elves at this point in time because, well, first of all, you never want to pick Chaos into Dark Elves. Dark Elves are a very hard counter to Chaos, especially with all the AP shooting. And you saw that just working down the Chaos Warriors across the front line. If you're going to go Chaos against Dark Elf, you might want to bring more unarmored stuff because the Dark Elf player is going to prepare to deal with the heavily armored Chaos Infantry. And honestly, the Dark Elf Infantry trades very well with the Chaos Infantry, like our Harganeth Executioners. They hold their own against any Chaos Infantry. They outshoot Chaos, and they've got pretty good mobility. They can own the airs. There's just so many reasons why Dark Elves are better than Chaos right now. I think Chaos needs some help from a competitive balance point of view, especially in multiplayer. Like 1v1, not as much, but multiplayer, yes. So Malekith is attracting some attention over here, fighting in his Blackguard. He should be able to probably break the Foot Squires. Blackguard definitely needed his help over here, but with his help, I think that will turn the battle. That's a very important fight. Meanwhile, it looks like a lot of the Dark Shards have just been run over here by the Skirmish Cav. Again, Skirmish Cav showing their like dual use as both a harass unit and a skirmish unit. I think they could lower the model count of skirmishers just across the board, or increase their cost. There's just in general, I think there's too much utility from skirmishers for their cost in this game. Especially, yeah, skirmish archers. So Malekith's gonna get down here and smash the Grail Leak. Nice work there. And Grail Knight's gonna come in on Malekith. And get a rear charge. Blackguard and Nagrand are there though to protect him, doing their bodyguarding job. In comes Alberic and more Grail Knights. And all of a sudden, Malekith taking a lot of damage. So brave plays here by Bretonnia, but they got nothing to lose. Balance bar wildly in favor of the Dark Elves. But if Malekith goes down, that's going to help the balance bar a whole lot. And I think he's done. He drops a chill wind to try and get out, but a little too late, my friend. So now it's Knights Errant and Skirmishers. What do we have left on the Dark Elves? Kolo Knights Marathi? I don't think she's moved at all. She's just mesmerized by her beauty. I think she has 15 kills. I don't know how she got them. Maybe something came at her, but I haven't seen her move all game. Which is interesting. Albrecht doesn't have heals. Golden Dread Knights win over here. I'm fast forward because a little repositioning. Oh, they're gonna get a full surround on Marathi. No, but here comes the Hydra. If the Hydra and Marathi just stand together, they should be okay. The Golden Dread Knights just got charged by Grail Knights, and actually a couple cycle charges took them out. That is crazy good. We are getting into the late game, so the Vigor could be an issue, but yeah, no, that's it for Bretonnia. So Red Delicious with the Malekith, I think he did provide value, even though he got killed at the end. I think Spiffy held his own. I think this Chaos player struggled to break through the front line of Judgment. The Dark Shards were shooting pretty much uninterrupted the whole time, and partly that was because his Marauder Horsemasters were active on the other flank, I think trying to support Albrecht. But yeah, against Dark Elf you probably don't want to try and win with your melee, probably. So yeah, interesting game. Alright, that's it for me for now for the cast. I'll catch you guys around.